Hello guys, it's John here to another Bakugan BakuTech Retrospect episode. This is episode 10 on Zero Munikis. Zero Munikis was originally released as BTC 25, but was also re-released in BTC 28, BakuTech Entry Value Pack, BCV 24, Golden Armor, and BCV 26, Best Selection. It is a Darkest Bakugan, comes with 580, 590, or 600 Gs, and was released in July of 2011. Looking at its ball form here, it is black with a lot of red markings. See some yellow there as well. And also the metal for the soul pieces. Very nicely designed Bakugan. Opening it up, opens up like that, and also has a few manual pieces here with the soul pieces, these horns, and then this back piece there that just flips up. And now it is fully transformed. So let's go ahead and just take a quick look at it. Again, very, very nice design. Unlike Dragon, it does stand out a lot more than its predecessor, Destroy Munikis, so that's helpful. In terms of its physical design though, it does have two cross pieces, which you can see here, and also here. They are asymmetrical when it is opened, which is a noteworthy feature. And of course it also has these soul pieces, and these soul pieces are actually a bit special. Aside from just being metal, they look a little bit different than normal. They also kind of feel a little bit different. If you own a Zero Munikis, you might know what I'm talking about. But they have this feature right here called the Storm Line, and that plays into its main gimmick of curve shot attacks. The Storm Line is there to help this thing spin better. So yes, these soul pieces do help with its main gimmick, which is really cool. And yeah, this thing does curve shot better than Destroy Munikis. So the gimmick is effective. It's not a major gimmick, but it's always nice when something like this actually does work. Alright, let's go ahead and close this thing now. So first up, we'll just want to close all of the manual parts here. After that, the head goes down. This part will come down. Then the tail just kind of folds over that. These parts here, you want to kind of close it almost fully, and then bring this part down, and then try and close them up about the same time. That generally helps to keep them in place a bit better. And you don't have to like click anything in, so just works a little bit better like that, but there you go, it is closed. Looking at the anime and manga, Zero Munikis is owned by Raichi. Like Destroy Munikis, this is a bit less common in the anime. The anime started just a few months before Hollow Munikis came out, therefore Destroy Munikis and Zero Munikis did not get as much screen time, but it was still shown in the anime. It was just a bit more noteworthy in the manga, having about a year in the spotlight. That said, it is still noteworthy that it was owned by a fairly prevalent character. Now let's talk about the variants. The BakuMetallic Gold version was an event first prize and had 600 Gs. The BakuMetallic Silver version was an event second prize and had 600 Gs. And the BakuMetallic Copper version was an event third prize and also had 600 Gs. Looking at Zero Munikis competitively, this is a bit of a weird one. At the time of its release, there weren't many options, and it was a bit better than Destroy Munikis, so it was your best bet for curve shots at the time. It wasn't quite as good as Dragon for attack, but it was still a notably good Bakugan. It's just that over time curve shots became a bit less effective, at least in the way that Zero Munikis used them. Eventually other things like BakuMetallic would come out, which had a bit more utility in how it used curve shots. Kalukin a bit later was the same way. I feel like those were a bit better for double stands, because of how their mechanics worked. And as far as offensive Bakugan go, there were just a lot more regular attackers that got released over time, that were stronger. I feel like the nail in the coffin was right before Gachi, when Buddha Gil came out, as you can curve shot it, and it had an extremely powerful attack. I think it was just a lot better than any Munikis at the time. And then obviously BakuTech Gachi just completely got ridiculous, and something like Zero Munikis just struggled to keep up. That said, there's also a case to say that this is actually the worst Munikis. While I do think it is physically better than Destroy Munikis, that actually would receive some recolors later down the line that kept the G-Power more competitive with late Gachi stuff, which is impressive, whereas Zero Munikis just caps out at 600 Gs. Personally, I still prefer Zero, but again, it is worth noting that yes, this is an argument that can be made. Regardless, by my own metrics, it does rank around mid-B tier. It's not a bad Bakugan by any means, it's just that what it was trying to do doesn't really keep up with a lot of later releases in the grand scheme of BakuTech. But that's really about it for this video. It was very similar to Destroy Munikis, so maybe not as much to say, but still an interesting and honestly underappreciated Bakugan. But anyway, the next video will be on Gigan Tours, so until then, thanks for watching, and bye.